Hey friends, welcome to Books and Bangers, the only book club where we start the night with a lyric video because I'm a 2 times Grammy loser and I refuse to open a Zoom call like a normie. I'm Chris, your accidental book club founder and tonight's flight director. Tonight we're kicking off month 3 of Space Camp with Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary. Drop your star rating in the chat for the book. If you saw the movie, drop that rating as well. And I'll call on a few of you to defend those in a minute. So, all right, this one. Dude wakes up alone in space, no memory, has to save the world with science. And somehow it turns into one of the most fun, stressful, and weirdly emotional books I've read in a long time. We've got a lot of science, one of the best friendships in recent memory, some very strong opinions about Eva Stratt, and now a movie with Ryan Gosling. And we'll get into all of it. Also, the song you just heard for the book, I wrote with my friend Jeff Lewis, who is here tonight. So we'll pull him in later and talk about that for a few minutes at the end. I've got a Ryan Gosling story that we'll get to when we hit the movie section. So we'll do the book first, then shift to the movie, and we'll close with the song. And Jeff, and let's get into it here. Let's see in the chat here. I want some people to. Okay, let's see. JK, what do you think? What was your star rating? Talk about it for a second.
Okay. So originally read in paperback. I'm a STEM girly at heart, but I was, when you get into the nitty gritty of the science, I was a bit like, we get it. We understand. But then I listened to the audio in preparation for this and watching the movie, and it raised it to like 5 stars. The narration was incredible, got me so excited for the movie. And then the movie is like 1,000 stars just because seeing Rocky come to life is phenomenal. And also Ryan Gosling was literally made for that role. So it's just, insane. But yeah, if I could give it 1,000 stars, I would.
Okay, so 1,000 stars from JK. Yep. Michelle, what do you think?
Love the book. Love the movie. I think I'm officially into sci-fi now. I blame everyone on this call. I'm in. Yeah, it was great. And just the movie, just the visual, and that one scene, and I don't think it's spoiling in case anyone didn't see it, but that scene where he's collecting the astrophage and the red and he's outside. I still think about it. Like, it was stunning. I do have a photography background, but still, like, it was stunning. Just beautiful.
I love that you're now a sci-fi nerd and it's our fault. So
totally
love that. We got to find a hater here. I think there's a hater. Krista, do you want to talk about your 2 stars real quick? You don't have to say too much, and we still.
Sure. I'm definitely in the minority for sure on this book. Not just here, but I think everywhere. I don't even know it. It was a slog for me to get through. It was not a fast read. I struggled to get through it. And Ryland Grace felt like Mark Watney to me. And I was like, give me something different. Give me a different character. So it was hard. Did I read or listen? I read paperback. I don't listen to audiobooks. I only read physical books and on my Kindle. So it was a read for me. But yeah, it was hard. It was a hard one for me to get through. So I had a really hard time. I didn't write a great review about it. I went back and read and I was like, that was a little harsh. But yeah, so I'm in the minority for sure. We
need that energy because there's going to be everybody's going to talk about how great this is. So we need that energy. Real quick. So you said The Martian. Was The Martian a better book for you or not as good of a book?
I like The Martian better. I actually like that one better than this one. I don't know why. It was an easier read to get through.
Yeah, no, it's a similar book for sure, but yeah, I get it. Veronica, you said 4 stars, so like that's not 5. So let's talk to you real quick.
Okay, so I liked the book, and there were points during the book, especially when, of course, it was Ryland and Rocky, or Dr. Grace and Rocky on the spaceship. That's where I was like locked in. And not to say I didn't appreciate or didn't see the value in all of the flashbacks. I was just like mixed with just how layered the science was. And I'm the first one to admit I am not a sci-fi reader at heart. Probably I'm more like sci-fi fantasy and then just fiction fantasy. And so I thought it was just a really good read, and it served for like really really good entertainment, not great. And I think also because I read the physical book completely, or actually no, like ebook and physical book. I didn't do any audio. But I did see little snippets of the movie right as I was getting into the book. And so whatever like scenes and characters and little details I was building kind of got taken over by the movie. And so I think my heart just kept thinking, you know what? I'm going to watch this and then it'll probably be a lot better. So I couldn't let it stand alone as the book. I was just always anticipating like, wow, this will be great on screen. And so that's why I was like, it was a good book, not fantastic.
Okay. I like it. We got a couple of iffy people and that's good. I think that's a good thing. Let's dive in. First question, first thing I want to talk about. And by the way, we can veer off of this as we go and just chime in. Let's start. What is this book really about? Like, what is it? What is it? Throwing that out there. Maria, you probably have a thought here, and you always have something great to share. Do you want to talk about what you think the book's really about?
Oh, thank you. I was just thinking it's about bravery, I think, and courage and doing what you need to do. I think, of course, and then the relationships between, the Grace and Rocky was very interesting, and everything about how, despite appearances, two people, they're both scientists, they're both trying to save the world. So even though they're very different looking, they're still the same. They're still brave and things like that. So.
Right. Okay, bravery. I like that. That's probably where I land. Who else? What are the thoughts on what the book is really about? Is it about survival? Is it about friendship, sacrifice? Jeff, what do you think? Jeff wasn't ready. He's like, how do I unmute? What do I do? We can go to somebody else here.
I'll go. I'll say it's about being human, right? I was going to say relationships, and the more I thought about it, I was like, no. Regardless of it's an alien, it's a human, whatever. Like, they had a bond. It was just they had to figure out their differences, and they could work through it.
Yeah, I like that. Mama Hush, what do you think it's about? Mama Hush? People don't know how to work the mute button today, apparently.
Oh, hands up. Mama, your hands up.
Oh, hello.
Mama Hush doesn't know how to work this thing. Veronica, what do you think the book?
But she scolded Gordon earlier to make sure he did.
I know, so she knew how to yell at people, but she doesn't know.
Oh, I know how to do it now.
Okay.
Oh, there she goes.
Okay, here we go. Fire away.
I know how to do it now. Sorry. I think it was about him not giving up. Always staying there. He didn't want to go into space. He didn't want to do anything because he was afraid. But then he decided, I don't give up. And his friend Rocky said, we don't give up. And the friendship they developed, I thought, was phenomenal. And the movie was done very, very well.
So are you suggesting that he was giving up throughout his life then, before then?
Well, he had been a very lonely person. He really didn't have friends. He was a teacher, which he enjoyed the kids, but he didn't have any other things in his life. And that's one of the reasons why he could go into space, because he didn't have family. But the fact that he didn't give up, even though he didn't know who he was and what he was doing and everything else, that to me tell me it's like the little engine that could. I think I can.
Another famous book. Wendy, what do you think?
All right. A small struggle with the mute button.
Hello.
Wendy. Go, Wendy.
Yeah, I think in addition to that, I really like the bravery and the friendship, and I think connection, like, overall was a piece. Connection to each other, and also to his home world and the people that he interacted with. I forget if her name's Eva or Ava. It's been a little while since I've read this one, but and his students, like, there are a lot of connections there. And I think through the book and his reflection on his life, he started to sort of recognize more that he had some of those connections, and then finally had that ultimate commitment, I think, to Rocky, and their connection is what pushed his actions at the end.
Okay. I love that. JK.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to answer to all your questions, but I love this book so much. Okay, so Jeff, by the way, we can hear you. We loud and clear. We get you. We heard you. Just so you know. So basically, what really, like the second time around, what I really noticed as well is how Grace doesn't really have like any close relationships with anyone, and Rocky is like the first person in a long time that shows that level of care towards him, that level of like love and sacrifice. And I think part of the reason why, he would want to, the kids would be maybe the main reason why if he had been brave enough, he would have gone on the mission in the first place. But obviously he's human with his own limitations and doesn't end up going on his own and gets, pushed to do it. But I feel like Rocky is ultimately, saving Earth is great and so on, but he doesn't know for sure until the end whether it worked or not. But what he knows for sure is that he finally found someone who is dedicated towards his well-being the same way he's dedicated towards someone else. I don't know if I make sense, but for me, that was the main thing that I think comes out of it. It's a bit cheesy, but I feel like it's a bit sad how no one really cares about him like the way he cares about other people until he meets Rocky, basically.
Yeah, I love that. I think all those I think are the right answer. And my first thought was more what Maria was saying. It's like, it's about a guy who's clearly gifted, but every time life asks him to be bigger and be a riskier version of himself, he kind of always backs away. And then he finally gets thrown into this situation where there's nowhere to hide. And weirdly, what finally unlocks his courage isn't the mission to save the world. It's Rocky, right? It's his friendship. So for me, it's a book about, it is about friendship. It's about sacrifice. And it's about a guy who finally becomes brave when it actually costs him something. And maybe that's too harsh on Grace. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just maybe that's just being human. I mean, so the question then is Grace a hero or does he become one? Do you guys think Grace is a hero?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good.
I think I have audio now. I think sharing some of the themes that you guys have already kind of touched on. I feel like I cheated a little bit because I got to talk to Chris about this when we were writing the song. But I think he does because he kind of overcomes. I think bravery is that sentiment of he finally makes the right choice of choosing something else other than himself. Which was such a struggle through the whole book, which is why they had to throw him on the spaceship in the first place. So I think he does. I think he ends up kind of shedding some of those insecurities and fearfulness and becomes the hero of the book.
Do you think he was always capable of it and he just needed sort of to be boxed into a corner to do it, or did it just suddenly manifest? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the movie actually did a little bit. I don't want to say it better. It's rare a movie paints a picture better, but that scene they added where he kind of is talking at the end, and he had the video, which did kind of give it a Martian feel. It was one of the only video journals that he did, but he kind of he was kind of showing some gratitude of almost a thank you for putting me in this situation and letting me find out that I could do this and I could go on this mission and do it. So I think he did. I think he ended up with some gratitude of being pushed into the situation and being able to find out what he had inside him.
Love it. Elizabeth, what do you think?
It's almost a type of memento hero's journey that he goes through, where he starts, he's working with kids. He's obviously a good guy. And you get these little snippets along the way of how he got to a space station from being a teacher. And it's not necessarily what you would have anticipated by any means. And so yes, he's a hero. He had to get there though. And he wasn't always on board necessarily, but it doesn't make what he did and his ultimate actions any less heroic.
Right. What do you think makes someone a hero? The capacity to be a hero, or is it the moment they choose it, or is it what do you think about that?
Yeah, I would say that the moment they choose it, a lot of people have the capacity to do it and actively choose not to.
Sure.
So that choice that he made, I would say.
Right. I mean, so he's given the choice early, like, hey, we need you, like, can you submit? Can you go on the thing? And he says no. Right. So when he's given that choice, he says no. But then after the development and the arc and the friendship, then it's like, oh, wait, then that's the transformation of, when he was lacking the bravery and then he finally had it. JK, what do you think?
Okay, that's going to sound very basic, but I think it's literally just a journey that he goes on that makes him a hero, like a bit like in ancient like Greek with like the Odyssey and stuff like that. Like if he hadn't gone through that journey, I think he was always the kind of person to be more like giving up. Oh, you don't agree with me? Then I'm going to stop my thesis. Oh, there's this hardship, so I'm going to stop that. Like the journey, I know it sounds simple, but I think that's the way I compare it to like typical like classical like heroes. It's like really like the journey. Oh, Bilbo Baggins, fucking love that. Sorry, my bad. Beat me. Yes, Vicky agreed. All Bilbo Baggins. Why not?
Right. I was actually just thinking, this is a quick personal story. So when I was doing music and I was kind of having a little success, but I still had a day job. I'm a CPA by degree. And I like kept telling, I got to quit my job. And like months and years started passing. And I just never had the guts to quit my job and go into music full time. It wasn't until I literally got laid off from the job, everybody did at my company, that I had the courage to quit and not find a new job. And then once I got that push, it was like, okay, forget it. I'm done. Corporate life sucks. I'm going to go all in on music. But anyway, on that point, the question that I kind of have is, does it still count? Like if you're forced to be brave, and I don't know the answer to this. If you're forced to be brave, are you really brave, or does it still count? Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not sure. Who wants to weigh in on that?
He was a reluctant hero.
Papa Hush coming in, a reluctant hero. Does that mean he's less of a hero?
I don't know.
Josh is saying no. Josh, what do you think?
No, I don't think it takes away from the fact that he's a hero. He had to get there. He had to get the oomph. He had to make that decision to be a hero. And what it really came down to was his relationship with Rocky. And it was deeper than his relationship with his kids, right? And I mean that in the classroom. Being a former teacher in the military, I really cared about my students. However, would I be willing to, risk what he risked? He's never going to get home. And he did that for Rocky, but not his own race, not his own people, not his own home. It was just, I think he had it in him. He just didn't know it. And he had to kind of be forced to make that choice.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like for Earth, when they asked him do you want to save humanity? It was no. But when you want to save Rocky, I love this guy. Yes. Yeah, and actually, I don't want to skip ahead to this, but there's one line. The line is not in the book, but it's in the movie, and like it jumped off the screen at me, and I was just like, there's the movie right there. He's talking to the pilot, I think Commander Yao, maybe, and he's like, why are you guys so brave? What's this brave gene that you guys have? And he's like, it's not a gene. He's like, you just have to find somebody to be brave for. And I was like, boom, there's the movie. There's the thing. That's that's it. That's what the whole thing's about. It's about finding somebody to be brave for. I mean, I think it's so was he a coward? I don't know. He was probably just a normal human being, right? Like, don't a lot of us might get asked to do things. And if it's like, well, do I really want to sacrificing for humanity is such a big, I don't know. It's kind of a big thing. Like, would you guys go? Vicky, would you go on this mission if they told you to, and you were qualified for it?
No, I'll be honest. I love the book. I love Rocky. I saw the movie, and it didn't hit me as much in the book as it did watching the movie. Of how alone, and I am an introvert, and I will hide and live as a hermit, but not to that extent. I'm like, and the idea of you're going to do this to save the future of humanity. It's such a big concept. Like, how do you wrap your head around that? It's not, I'm saving my kid or I'm saving my best friend. It's, it's this nebulous thing. It's hard, I don't really blame him for being like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd do it either. Michelle, what do you think?
I was just going to say that coffee exists in this, version of space travel, but not in Becky Chambers' space travel. So it's a little more believable that I might do it with the coffee in this version of space travel. That's all.
With coffee and maybe like a fully loaded Kindle with every book ever created.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that. That's the requirement. You'll do the mission. Anyone else? Anyone here that would have done the mission? Like I would go on it, no questions asked. No, yeah,
no.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. It seems hard. Let's talk about Rocky. Why do you think this friendship hits so hard? Like, it's got to be more than he's likable. What works for this friendship, and why does it hit in such a great way? Inga. Inga?
There you go. I had to unmute. I think that it's so innocent and they complement each other so well that I don't think that there's any pressure to be more than that they need to be. Like Grace is the science guy and everything, and anything he needs, Rocky can make it instantly. And so they work so well together, and it's just innocent. They're trying to, especially when they start learning each other's languages and they're jazz handing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just so sweet, and I think that's what makes it work.
Right. I love that. Elizabeth, what do you think?
As someone who was sort of raised on those like YouTube videos of unlikely animal friendships, I think this really capitalizes on that, where we want to see two very different species or people get along really well. So that's what I think of every time I think of Grace and Rocky, is the goat and the cow or whatever that love each other.
That's amazing, and now I'm never going to think of it any other way.
You're welcome.
That's great. Elisa, what do you think?
I think Rocky's such a pure soul. He's there's something so pure about him. Clearly, they don't have lying on Erid, and I just thought that was really endearing. And he really was brave. I mean, he went on the trip because he wanted to save his planet, and he didn't hesitate to try to save Grace. I don't know. But the animal analogy is so appropriate, because I thought that's the kind of love that you get from an animal, like a very pure situation.
I've made a few jokes and videos that I've made about Project Hail Mary where I try not to spoil it. It's part of what I'm trying to do is not spoil it, but I say a dude has to save the universe with duct tape, science, and a pet rock. And it's sort of he's sort of a little bit of a pet, and people get really pissed off at me about calling Rocky a pet rock. And I'm like, listen, I'm trying not to spoil that. I'm just saying pet rock, and it'll be funnier when you see it. Anyway, people don't always get it. So what about, is it the fact that why did they trust each other? I guess that's another question, right? We've got two guys, so my wife, who's not on this right now, she's reading the book right now, and she's like, is Rocky going to be evil? I'm waiting for Rocky to eat him or something like that. So I don't know. JK, go ahead. I don't know if you want to speak to that or something else, but go ahead.
Well, they have a common goal. As soon as they realize that, I think that connection, that's a unique connection. They're never going to be able to share that with anyone else, really. Up until maybe the end where he goes to Erid. But even these people, they didn't go on the same journey. They didn't have to go through all the hardships that they went through. I think it's the common goal of saving their people and being willing to sacrifice themselves. Not each other, obviously, because they would do anything to save each other, but being willing to go through such a big sacrifice in order to make sure that their loved one would be okay. I think this common goal, I mean, even though in the book, particularly the different timelines and the play on memory and stuff, we do realize that obviously Ryland wasn't on board with it. And so he, you know, is kind of like disappointed in himself. Actually, I'm not a brave person, whatever. But then it's a bit of a mirror situation. He looks at Rocky and he's like, maybe Rocky doesn't think he's brave. I mean, but Rocky survived and no one else did. And I survived and no one else did. And it's like a mirror. They're like holding a mirror at each other, maybe. And it's a fact, and it's their friendship that makes them realize that, you know, the common goal, I think, is when it's, as I described it as a spider, I almost like burned my book. Like, honestly, like it's hard not to find him endearing. And I think the common goal at the end of the day, I don't know why your wife would think he would eat him. What gave her that impression?
I mean, what? Probably being married to me, I don't know, there's probably some strange things that go on in her brain.
I actually had that fear up front too.
I was going to say, I'll speak to that because I too was like, okay, hold on, cute pet rock. Like, you're so adorable. You speak in musical tones. Like, and all of a sudden you want to study Earth. You want to study this Earthling that you found. And I'm like, okay, when is this going to happen? And I'm just like, okay, hold on. Is this just so wholesome and cute? Like, they're just to accept it that he's just adorable and I love this rock. But I definitely went through my stages of like, I don't know if I trust this rock yet. Yeah. So I had that same feeling.
I only got through because I kept sitting there going, okay, people have been excited to see him in the movie, so I'm going to try to keep going in with good feelings. But I also was totally worried he was going to turn around. It might be other.
Yeah, no, the whole.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with Kim and Veronica. I finally got there. Once I got to the friendship, I was on board fully. But I definitely found myself, he wanted to watch him sleep. You know, I'm like, okay, this is getting creepy. Why does he want to watch him sleep? He can't come onto my ship, but I want to go onto your ship. I'm like, this is going all sorts of bad places. And I've been trained, any type of alien book or movie that I've watched, they always they always turn into the bad guy. So I'm sitting here thinking, something happened with his co-pilots being dead. I thought there was a lot of weird twists that were going to kind of tie in. Once I got past all that, I was able to get on board with the friendship and enjoy it just as you guys did. But yeah, I've spent a few chapters like Rocky's coming to kill. Like, he's coming in to kill for sure.
I'm going to mute myself. I just want to just one thing. You guys have trust issues, but I understand. Second of all, like, usually it's the human that are issues to aliens, not the other way around, unless we haven't watched the same movies. And third of all, you guys haven't watched Twilight, and it shows, because I don't mind someone watching me sleep, and that's my mic drop. And I'm just kidding, but seriously, it's not crossed my mind, and maybe I trust people too much. Maybe that's on me.
I love it, Brian. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought as soon as the interactions of the ships and Rocky started repeating what Dr. Grace was doing, it just was cute. It just reminded me of like a kid meeting a kid and reciprocating. You assume that Rocky, at that point, you don't know what it is, right? But you assume they're not going to speak English, but they can rock, or they could knock on a wall, or they could, what was it, three taps, and they would repeat. Yeah. And I thought, I never thought that Rocky was going to turn bad. I mean, just between his cute interactions, and of course, I could see kind of what Jeff said and what Vicky said. I mean, people have kind of seen in sci-fi and space, things go wrong. But Rocky, just from the beginning, was cute and musical and whimsical and sarcastic. I mean, he gets a little sarcastic at the end, but what a cute character and plot device. I mean, just whenever you needed him for something, he just could do it.
But Brian, that's when they get you, man, when you least expect it,
Well, that's true. They build up that confidence and the trust, and then they take you out on that. But I never felt once, at least on this, until maybe Rocky ate, or I guess Dr. Grace observed Rocky eat his first thing. It always felt pretty safe. That was hard to imagine, and I haven't seen the movie, but I don't know if they show the eating process for Rocky in the movie.
I think they do quickly. Doesn't he eat and poop out of the same hole?
Well, he just disengages his carapace and just absorbs, and it was hard to visualize it in my head, as it always is, right, with different books things. But But
they kind of reversed it in the movie though, and Rocky's like, when I eat it's beautiful, and I'm like, that's not at all what the book had.
Yeah, Rocky thought it was disgusting, right?
And private.
And private, right. So everybody's just read too many books and seen too many things where you're always looking for, like, I mean, that's actually an interesting question. Like, who's the antagonist in the book, right? We're always looking like, oh, this person's going to flip and something bad's going to, that, like, I mean, that is a lot of books. It's the twists. And this one the twist is there's no twist on Rocky, but it's, again, that's where it gets back to, like, if you describe the book to somebody, you say, oh, it's about a guy who's got to go, he wakes up in space and he's got to save the world. But like we talked about earlier, the book's really about this friendship and bravery. And it takes a while to get there. Yeah. So Kim, my wife, still thinks Rocky's going to eat him. So I don't know. We'll see what happens for her on that one.
I don't think Rocky would have spent too much time trying to communicate his atmosphere, Grace's atmosphere, had he wanted to eat him. I think he would have just gone and eaten him.
Fair enough. I like it.
100%. I'm with Josh.
I love it. So let's talk about Eva Stratt. Is she a hero? Is she a villain? Was she doing what she had to do? What do you guys think? Maria?
Hold on. I'm having issues too. Why won't my video come on? There we go. Hey, sorry about that. I think she was a kick-ass heroine, big time. I mean, she did what she had to do, and damn the consequences. I mean, in the book, it came across a lot stronger than in the movie. In the movie, she doesn't get enough screen time. You get a sense of it. I think the actor that was cast was perfect. We really liked her. I saw the movie yesterday because I knew we were having this conversation. But she was a hero. Like, I mean, she would have went in space like without a blink of an eye if she had the knowledge and everything. And I loved it when she made him go. I mean, she just forced him to go, and it was just like, I think definitely a hero.
So do you think that the fact that she forced, I'm on the fence on this, so I'm trying to be convinced, but she forced somebody against his will to do it. Like, I mean, a lot of people would say that's villainous, right?
Not when you got the fate of the world. I mean, really. I mean, you think about how many they were already expecting, like a quarter of the population to die just from the initial cooling. And no, like, right, the needs of the many over the needs of the one. I mean, I'm with her all the way.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it might be the Navy in me, but like, if I have to send one guy down to save the ship, right, for everybody else, I mean, that's a tough choice to make. But you're going to lose everybody, or you're going to lose one. What's your choice? I mean, that's the philosophical train problem. I got it. But I mean, that's essentially the question you just asked us.
Josh, actually, as a military guy, you can maybe speak to this better. Like, I in my head, I think of both ways. And I could be wrong. Military would say we send one person to die for the needs of the many, but isn't there also a, like, no man left behind, no woman left behind as well?
100%. Yeah, you want to minimize that. I wouldn't say I'm the best person. I got out of being the surface warfare, and I now do acquisition for the Navy. But yeah, it's that's the reason I get paid a little bit more, right? Is because I've got that burden to make some of those decisions should the need arise.
What is the code that they give you is there sort of a code that you're supposed to follow, or is it just, I mean, obviously there's judgment involved.
I don't know about code, but don't give up the ship, right? So you fight because that's the orders that you've got. It's you don't no shipmate left behind. So you got to reconcile that, and it's interesting that you asked me that question in a classroom. I think I'd probably have a little bit different answer than I would if I was knee deep in water and I needed to stop the water.
Right. I mean, that's sort of like, in theory, it's easy to make a bunch of calls and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna send. But then when it's shit's hitting the fan right now.
100%.
Sorry, Mama Hush.
Sorry.
I'll come to you in a second. Mama Hush, go ahead.
I think she was a bit of a bully. but she had to be a bully because of the fact that if she wasn't a bully, things wouldn't get done. So she had to bully people, tell them what to do, how to do it, and get it done. And she had the power and the know-how to do it. And sometimes that's what you got to do when you're in dire circumstances.
Okay.
She wasn't always a bully, though. She was a hero. She was a villain.
Of course.
She was whatever the situation called for.
Sounds like another big fan there. All right. Okay. JK, go ahead.
Well, I've got a lot of feelings, obviously, but one thing that I thought was interesting is that in the book, we know that Grace is pissed off about it. When he realizes it, he understands why he feels certain ways, and his emotions come little by little as he remembers. But in the movie,
raspberries, 2 for $5.
Oh no, I did not.
A little trays.
But
They're not the ones that Ron likes, but they're.
But in the movie, what I thought was really interesting is that he sent her the little figurines that Rocky made of him, and why would he do that unless he had he had understood the purpose and he had not forgiven her necessarily, but I feel like I wouldn't personally send a postcard to a friend when I'm going on holiday unless I'm that's still my friend. So I think if he can forgive her, I think us as readers can forgive her too. That's my take.
So actually, on that tip, let me follow up with you, JK. Do you think Grace forgave her? I mean, I'm trying to. The book and the movie are a little blurry now because now that I've seen both, I'm trying to remember which is which. Did he forgive her? Did he? Is it sort of implied?
In the book, I can't remember. I have a feeling Nicole said that apparently he remained angry when he sent the Beatles back. I don't know if he is, but I don't feel like it's as clear whether he's come to terms with it or he's more I'm going to be stuck on Erid. I'm going to be stuck, I'm just going to have to spend 13 years or whatever. Yeah, exactly. He's accepted it. Whereas I feel like in the movie, they've made her more sympathetic, which a lot of you guys already pointed out, which I'm happy with, unless we're talking about the scene where she makes him go on the mission. Then I'm she should have been more cold, because otherwise it doesn't fit with her being more sympathetic. So yeah, he just accepted it maybe in the book, but in the movie, I really think it's more than just admitting that she was right, like Alyssa was saying. I think he does forgive her, because why would he send the figurines? He could just send the information and hope for the best. And I think that's a nice thing for us, the audience, because he'll never know that she received it, but for us, the audience, to know that their friendship at the end of the day is still not intact, but he's come to terms with it in a way where she's always going to be his friend. Also, the fact, I know it's not exactly answering your question, but the fact that in the movie, Rocky makes his perfect planet for Grace, I don't think it's visually explained in the book. I'm pretty sure Andy Weir actually is not very good at visualizing anyway, but in the movie, I think that makes him accept his situation a lot better than it feels like. Even in the books, years later, he's still thinking, maybe I should go back. So there's a full circle for him in the movie, and that includes his relationship with Stratt, in my opinion.
Got it. Okay. Brian?
Thank you. Sorry, long-winded.
All good.
No, I liked Stratt. Every time in the book that she appeared, there was an air of confidence in the fact that she was uniting nations that generally aren't very friendly with each other, and the way that military would step down. And I think she was doing what she had to do. She was granted power. I mean, she was taken to court, and she just, she's like, this is not worth my time, but I thought I'd wait and put everyone together. You're all going to sue me anyways. But for right now, I've got all the power. But when it came to sending Grace to the mission, her hand was kind of dealt to her, right? She had her first place and second place science experts who are hooking up, both die. And with 1 week to go, after all that she's done, she's not gonna throw it away for some random person. I think it was from Venezuela, Argentina, who volunteered, who had no idea, who was going to come on board with 7 days to go, when Grace, who everyone assumed was hooking up with Stratt the whole time, was right there. So sure, should she have drugged him? and put him in a coma. It's an awesome drug that I've never heard of, and I don't know if it's real. I don't know if France really does that, but if they do, it explains why he was so confused in the beginning. I couldn't even understand that, but I think that she did what she had to do. I mean, she'd been doing what she had to do the whole time. Now all of a sudden we're going to expect that she's not going to do that? No, I don't think so. In the book, though, I think in the end, Grace says that he did what he was going to do because she told him what he was going to do. I think he still kind of threw an FU at her, but he took his own way by going to Erid instead of home. So Stratt, badass, yes.
Love
but
that.
Grace got his just desserts by taking his own path at the end.
I love that. That's really well said. One quick thing on that. I think in the movie, Stratt, when she's shown, it's not really a spoiler. When she's shown at the end, they say she's got a mark on her neck that's like something they give to people that are prisoners in France or something like that. The implication is that she
had done it, or she had been
thrown in jail for what she did. And I don't know. I have to go down further down that rabbit hole, but right. It's like you hire somebody to do, it's like, listen, you have to do the impossible job. You're saving humanity, and you have to violate laws to basically do that. Jeff, your hand's up. You finally figured out how to raise your hand.
Did, with the help of this community, I have raised my hand for the first time.
I told Jeff, I'm like, listen, I have the coolest book community ever. These people are amazing. And anyway, so I'm glad they took care of you. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, no, my video went out now. Great. Gotta love it. I was just gonna say let me go to my, let's get back there. I was just gonna say that my only problem, and it's a very small problem that I had with the movie, was I thought the urgency of Stratt, I thought the book just painted such a better picture of just how urgent it was, that she had to make this choice to throw Ryland on the spaceship. That it wasn't, in the movie, I just thought they didn't show the nukes going off at both poles to try to make gas to get the Earth to heat up more. They didn't show the amount of effort they took to put all the solar panels in the Sahara Desert to try to redevelop all the astrophage. So I thought they did such a better job of showing how pressing it was. In the book, the movie, it kind of made it seem like, in 30 years it could. It kind of sounded like what they say, what predictions are now. And it's like, it didn't make it seem like it was so pressing she had to send this guy to his death as much as they did in the book. So I thought that was my only small little problem I had with the movie. Which again, small problem, but they could have pressed that a hair more, that she was really under the gun.
Okay. I like that. The ending. Was this a happy ending? Would have been better if he went back to Earth, or, either before or after he didn't, when he went to Erid, should he have gone back? Inga.
I loved the ending. I thought it was so fitting. Like, the only really good thing on Earth that he had was his class. That's what he lived for. It's one of the first things he thought of when he woke up in space were about his kids. And so to go and teach this alien race I thought it was amazing. I cried.
Amazing, right? Yeah. Elisa.
I thought it was really great character growth that he, chooses Erid over Earth to save Rocky. So it shows his growth as a character, but it could have been like a jail sentence for him. And it's really gratifying to see him doing what he loves to do as probably their first introduction to Earth and at all. And I just thought that was really wonderful, like a whole bunch of little Rockies that he got to interact with. So it was very heartwarming.
Love that. Vicky, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, it didn't seem like there was another option, because even if he went back to Earth, everybody there is now older, and those kids aren't kids anymore. They're having their own kids probably by the time he gets there. So, it was like, well, of course, if I'm going to go back to a home that doesn't really mean anything, kind of like in Becky's book, when we were talking about, we could go home, but this is home now. These people are my family and my home. It had that same feeling to me.
Right. Does it matter that he didn't really have anything pulling him back to Earth?
And I think it kind of does. There was nothing he cared about there. I'm not any people or anything anymore. Like, it is what it is.
I mean, he'd probably get a hero's welcome. He'd be the most famous person on earth. I guess that, but
he'd get his 15 minutes of fame, and then they'd move on to a different influencer.
Right. Save the world. You get 15 minutes. You're done. We're on to the next story. Brian, what do you think?
Okay, so I wanted him to go back to Earth, right? I wanted to see a full circle. In my opinion, the happy ending would have been to go back to Earth and get his FU into Stratt and see the statues erected and see how old his kids had grown, his students. But when he turned and went back to Erid, it just makes more sense, right? I feel like sometimes the books that I want to end in a happy ending, or movies or TV shows, whatever it might be, are best when the ending isn't happy and it's kind of left ambiguous, right? You can think more about it. You can think about Erid. You think about how they did all this time and effort to make an environment that worked just for him. And they worked their way through everything just for him. And of course, I think it was mentioned already on the call, maybe like just 15 minutes ago. I can't remember who said it, but it ends with him teaching the students. He gets to go and he gets to play the musical organ that they can understand him. Because ultimately, right, we must believe that the Erid students can't understand English. I'm not sure if Rocky understood English or how it worked, but ultimately he was able to understand Rocky due to the computer and then over time just for repetition. But I think that it didn't end in the happy-go-lucky phase. I think sometimes it's better. It works out better that way. So,
yeah,
I was happy how it ended.
Okay. Vivian, what do you say?
Sorry, didn't click quick enough. But Brian, you talking, I think, helped me actually click it, because I wonder if this ending was Grace's happy ending. Because he seemed like he was hesitant to go back. Rocky said, hey, we're ready. We can send you back home. And I think it wasn't 17 years. I think it was quicker. I forgot the exact number. But he said, no, like, let me think on it. And then he goes to the school and he's the happiest. So I wonder if this was actually in him bonding with Rocky, teaching him. I think that actually sparked his teacher desire, and was actually when he was happiest.
Yeah, he got his happy ending he found his people, he found his purpose. What is Earth didn't have anything for him necessarily anymore. You know what? On that thought about home and all that, Andy Weir, I think I read somewhere that he is potentially, this is rumor fest here, working on something else in the Project Hail Mary universe. Like, I don't know what that means. Does that mean sequel? Does that mean something else? Josh may have some insight here.
I don't know if I have insight, but I heard an interview with the writers and him and the Ryan Gosling, where they asked what happened to the other astronauts. And he said, I am saving some of that back in case I write a sequel. And so I think that there's more there, right? The reason it was, to me, a poignant book is because he turned around to save Rocky, knowing he's not going back to Erid. He can't survive there. So I actually, maybe it was a little bit of a cop-out. Maybe it was a sequel starting that he let Grace survive. It was just an interesting, I think he's got potential there to do anything he wants. Right. So, not necessarily insight there, but I did hear the interview and he said, I'm saving that information. I actually know that answer.
Yeah. Okay. Right. No, exactly. And that's especially in sequel happy worlds, who wouldn't love another Project Hail Mary book, movie, etc. Michelle, go ahead.
I mean, sure, it'd be cool, but do we need it? Can we just leave well enough alone? I get it. Things are popular. I jump on things too, 2, 3, 4, 5 books, whatever. But I don't know. Sometimes it's okay to just let it be. Schitt's Creek, that could have kept going for multiple seasons, but they ended it. They had a good thing and they walked away. I don't know why that was my comparison, but I'm just saying, I just did a rewatch not that long ago. So, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of just perfect the way it is. Would I read another book? Of course I would. Would I go watch the movie? Probably also yes. But I just think we can kind of just leave it and it's okay.
I totally agree. At the same time, I just the way the world and that kind of stuff works. It's easy money. Let's make the second book. People will want this. Maria.
Okay. I liked the ending because he was going back with Rocky where, I mean, as we said before, like he had nobody on Earth, and he wasn't willing to sacrifice himself on Earth. Like you said, he found this person to be brave for, right? I liked in the movie that they kind of give you a glimpse of what's going on Earth, because the book didn't. The book only said something about the sun, that Sol was brightening. So, they got the information, but that's all you know. So I really liked the movie that they kind of gave a little glimpse of her and the ship and the ice and stuff with the snow. I mean, I really like that. And I like the movie a lot better than the book because, again, it doesn't get bogged down in the science. And also the emotions, like Ryan was able to bring in so much more emotions than the book ever did. And that's my problem with Andy Weir. Like The Martian had no emotions. And the book was very, very emotionless, but the movie was really great because, Matt Damon can bring those emotions to life. And also the movie for the Project Hail Mary, he had that whole time where he was like drinking the vodka and all that stuff, which wasn't in the book at all. But that was very much realistic, I thought, to finding out that he's all alone in space. So, and my last little complaint with the book is all that gosh darn stuff that drove me crazy. Anybody else, like the whole gosh darn, oh golly gee, I'm like, just curse, So,
he's a teacher, Maria. That's why. Even though I swore as a teacher, I shouldn't have. So he is a teacher. It's true. It's a bit intense, and you just want to slap him and remind him that, like, you're 35 and you wear cardigans. Like, chill out. But that is how it is. I agree with you. After a while, I just ignored it. But like, he is a teacher.
It drove me crazy. And I'm a teacher as well, but I teach at a university. So maybe that's different. Maybe we curse more at the university level.
I don't
yes, that's my rant. I will mic out.
No. I don't trust a teacher that doesn't drop an F-bomb every once in a while. So I don't trust anybody that just doesn't drop an F-bomb once in a while. So I don't know if that's, we could talk about the book and the ending all night. I'll come back in a second, Jeff. And that was a nice segue. Let's talk a little bit more specifically about the movie. But real quick, I got to tell my Ryan Gosling story, which I have overhyped now, and it will not be that good. Anyway, so here it is real quick. So the story is I once beat Ryan Gosling at brunch through the power of basic planning. So it's Sunday morning. We're at the Grill Cafe on Sunset Boulevard in LA. It's a breakfast place. There's a huge line. I hop in line behind this dude with sunglasses on, and it's like very clearly Ryan Gosling. Me and my wife knew, and people were with. So we get to the front of the line, right behind Gosling. He asks the lady, like, how long is the wait? And she's like, it's like 90 minutes. And she's like, do you have a reservation? He says, well, can you check under Gosling? And she's like, looking. And she's like, nothing. And he's like, well, is there like anything you can do to like help me out and like get me in here? And she's like, no, sorry. It's a 90-minute wait. Next. And I get up there, give him my name. I'm taken to my seat immediately. So the moral of the story, I think, is that reservations beat being Ryan Gosling. And I should have invited him and his date to join us like, dude, you can just come and sit with us. In fact, I like Kim. You can go to the bathroom. And anyway, that's my story. So Ryan Gosling, did he feel like Grace to you guys? I think Maria nailed. Maria said he brought more emotion to him. Are the professorial glasses hanging off the ear going to be a thing? Should I make that my thing? By the way, JK, what do you say?
No for the glasses. Clearly a proper glasses wearer would never do that. Like it really was my pet peeve the whole time. I've worn glasses since I was 4 and I've never worn my glasses like that. So why? And second of all, more than my opinion, I don't know if you guys know this fun fact, but my husband told me this fun fact actually. Ryan Grace was based on Ryan Gosling.
I thought about that, the RG thing, Ryan Grace.
Exactly.
I thought about that.
Exactly. How do
you know that?
Yeah. Andy Weir said in interviews, and before the book even came out, he actually sent the Project Hail Mary to Ryan Gosling before it even come out.
Gosling
Yeah.
said, I think he had read the script or read something in like 2021. When did the book come out? 21?
2023 is when it came
so like
out.
it seemed like he had it even before. Right. That's why.
So I mean, but he's so nerdy. Andy Weir is so nerdy. It's so funny to me. But basically, yeah, Ryland Grace is Ryan Gosling. He just wrote a fan fiction for Ryan Gosling, and we just have to accept it. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think it was fantastic. He's basically alone most of the movie as well. So I think I reckon it's going to get nominated for the Oscars, but that's just me, and I'm super biased. Well, that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, Elizabeth.
Andy Weir obviously then manifested Ryan Gosling in this movie. But because JK started out with the thing about the glasses, I felt the exact opposite way. I mean, obviously no one that I've ever seen wears their glasses like that, but I thought it was a beautiful, creative choice. I was 100% on board. It was ridiculous. And, obviously just generally thought he made a great Dr. Grace. As I was reading the book, knowing that Ryan Gosling was going to be portraying him, I was like, oh, that's the perfect choice. And it was really just the choice all along. It's who it was the entire time. So it made sense to me, but I loved it. It worked.
The next time I'm at brunch with Ryan Gosling, I'm going to ask him about the glasses, because I think that was his move. I bet that was him. Like, I gotta add something to this character. What's going to be my thing? My thing's going to be glasses hanging off the. I'm going to start doing it in public and seeing if anybody says anything too. I got to get the actual like specs for that though. I think people are saying
you get the fox sweater too. Then
yeah, I got to get the fox sweater, the get up.
Get the mini sweater for your doll. Oh, sorry, Elizabeth. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying for his next hot girl walk.
Yes, and then he's gonna get catcalled, and he's gonna be like, "Love the sweater."
I mean, could happen.
Yeah.
I
know, but yeah, you should put it on your doll. You should put the glasses off on your doll and see if we catch it.
Most people haven't even caught the doll. I don't even think anybody knows.
It's creepy. How can they not see it?
Okay. Anyway, okay.
How to ignore it? It's so creepy.
Real quick, if you know about the doll, my kids love American Girl dolls, and my wife too. And for Christmas, they thought it'd be funny to buy me a doll that looks like me, and they put it in a Metallica shirt and glasses, and then I put a mustache on it because I'm like, it has to have a mustache as long as I got one. I can peel it off if I need to. But so there's a doll. So that's it. Super creepy. All right, Rocky. Did they nail Rocky? Was that what you thought Rocky was going to look like? Was it better in the movie or better in your imagination?
I was so happy because, as somebody mentioned earlier, I think it was JK, was that first image of the spider. After that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to imagine that. And then I was like, oh, I hope they didn't make him too spidery. But he was great.
He was spidery, but still Rocky.
Yes, he wasn't like a big giant tarantula kind of thing. He wasn't creepy like your doll.
Thank you. Thank you. Elisa.
Yeah, definitely. I think they made him a lot cuter than he was described in the book. And the cuteness was definitely a choice. I mean, I can see merchandising, down the road.
I got Legos here there's Rocky, there's Grace, and the whole thing.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, merchandising. Yeah.
Yes, I like that.
So I
like that. Yeah.
We're everywhere. Tram.
Hi everyone. So hi. I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I'm driving, but I thought they did such a great job on Rocky. When I first read the book back in 2021, I tried to find not a lot of people were talking about it, so I was trying to find just any fanfic of Rocky, just any portrayal at all that anyone could come up with, because I was trying to envision this Rocky alien thing and could not for the life of me, because I was like, he doesn't have eyes, but he looks like a spider. And so what they came out with for the movie, I was like enthralled by. I thought they did a great job, no notes.
Yeah, and it was a puppet too, I think, which is even cooler that they did that versus CGI or something. Jeff.
Yeah, that was my. That's what I was gonna say. I thought it was such a good choice to do no CGI and to have it all. Yeah, I still don't even know how they did it. Watching the movie back, even though knowing it was a puppet, it still looked so real in so many different cases. I was like, how is somebody controlling these arms? I thought that was an amazing choice, and I feel like it kind of, I remember growing up with movies that all had no CGI, no animatronics, Star Wars, different other animated movies from the late 80s, early 90s, and I feel like you just got a cool connection to those characters when they were in puppet form for some weird reason, and I felt that with Rocky, so I was really happy they made that choice.
Love it. Michelle.
I read something somewhere that there was a couple scenes that it was Ryan Gosling's kids that he was acting against where Rocky would have been, and that's how he got some of the emotion out. And I was like, oh, stop.
Wow.
So, yeah, so that probably helped, which I think is also super cool. And Rocky, like Tram said, no notes, perfect. Perfect.
And actually, along that line, I think somebody else said it earlier too. Like Rocky was kind of like just like a fun little kid, right? Like just doing the jazz hands and the things. And I mean, he's a genius too. But that ties in. Man, that's crazy if he acted against his kids. Super cool. Brian.
Okay, so I read the book after I saw the first trailer by accident. Really kind of was not a great idea, because then as I was reading the book, all I could envision was Ryan Gosling, and I really struggled. I shouldn't even say I really struggled. I didn't even have to try to struggle to think about what Rocky looked like, because the picture was in my head from seeing the trailer. So if I could advise anyone in the future, knowing that you're reading a book and there's a trailer out, or the movie's already out and you're reading a book 10 years past the movie, try your best to avoid it. It's so hard to envision anyone besides what you see for the first time. So I haven't seen the movie, but
Ryan got he's dreamy, so you'll love it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, every time Ryan Gosling's in something, I enjoy it. I think I want to say most people like him. He's a likable person.
Yeah,
he's a good-looking, funny guy, charismatic. I would say most people on this call have never stolen a breakfast or brunch reservation from him, but otherwise, he's very well liked.
Except by me, apparently. JK, what do you got?
I just want to add a little side note. There is a bunch of CGI in this movie. I don't want the work of all the animators. I used to work in special effects. My former colleagues have worked on it. I can confirm that a 3D Rocky has been digitally made in some instances. Yes, there is a puppet, and yes, it's a lot less CGI than usual. You don't make a movie in space without any CGI, and I want it to be recognized just for the sake of all the people I know who worked on it, even though it's going to age a lot better than a lot of VFX movies these days, just because there's a lot of practical effects. But I just want to add that I hate it when I see it online. Oh, we didn't use anything. They did the same with Vecna in Stranger Things. There's a lot of CGI on Vecna, even though he's wearing something. So can we just not perpetuate the thing and just appreciate that it was well made on set and in post-production? Sorry, it's a bit of something important.
JK shattered our illusions that it was all puppets and real people, and they were actually in space now, so we're done.
I know. The part being in space, I know it's crazy. I know I had to convince you on that one, but there we go.
We're gonna talk to Jeff in a minute about the song real quick, but the other thing, what about changes in the movie? It's pretty true to the book. They condensed a lot of things, got rid of a lot of science. What any opinions on maybe yays or nays, goods or bads versus the movie? We've talked about it a little bit. Vicky?
My big thing was, I thought the one place they condensed that I didn't like was the whole explanation of the of when they were breeding the teleamoeba, because like a whole bunch of stuff, if you didn't read the book, wouldn't have made any sense in that part, because they didn't even talk about it. And where in the book, Rocky and Grace were really having a lot of conversations about how they were going through this and why they were doing it. It all happened while Rocky was still, in his coma, basically. And I'm like, okay, that piece seemed like that was when we could have used like 3-4 minutes of film. That was my big issue. Like everything else, I liked pretty well. I mean, some of the stuff they changed, like Maria mentioned earlier, like the vodka. It made way more sense to me that he drank it at the beginning.
Right. Right. I think that the vodka was great. Stratt's character, I thought in the movie, I thought she was great in the book, but like Maria said, I think she's probably a nominee for a supporting actress, maybe. The line about the being brave for someone was an awesome change. What did you guys think of Carl? Anybody? Michelle, you don't have to talk about Carl, whatever you want to talk about, but.
No, I can totally talk about Carl. I loved Carl.
Yeah.
Like, I thought giving Carl more personality and more interactions, I thought he was hilarious. And I like the scene at the Home Depot or Menard, wherever they were. I loved Carl. I was just gonna say the thing about Stratt. I liked the karaoke scene.
Right.
That's why I originally raised my hand. But no, Carl was great. Loved him.
And right, the karaoke scene, right? Like just it humanized her. This woman that has to make all these impossible choices. That's, she's cold and all that. And then she gets up and sings. Did she sing Sign of the Times or what did she sing? I can't remember.
Yeah, that Harry Styles song.
Yeah. I mean, amazing. That was a really, really, really awesome part of it. What about going to see Rocky's ship? He doesn't do that in the book, I don't think. And then they do it in the movie. I talked to Jeff about this and we were both like, it was a little underwhelming. Like, oh, they're going to see Rocky's ship. But then I've seen other people say it was like one of the coolest scenes of the movie. Anybody have a thought on that? I thought it was like, oh, we're going to see Rocky's ship. And then it's just kind of like sparkly and like, interesting, like visually, but not like, oh, I wanted to see like, what's the cockpit look like? Or what is like, I don't know. That underwhelming? I see people saying, Jeff, you hated that part, right?
Hate's a strong word, but yes, I felt like it could have been just done better. I mean, look, it was one of those, did we need it? No, it wasn't in the book, something they added in the movie. And if you're going to add something in the movie, make it be worth something. I could have taken those couple extra minutes and taken it right back to the beginning because I thought they breezed through his whole wake up and the hands picking him up and putting him back in. And, that whole part, which again, you're shaving minutes off. I guess that's a great place to shave some minutes, but I could have done without Rocky's ship.
Or if they did it, maybe do it in a way that would have been more compelling, potentially. Like it has to be like one of the best scenes. Also, like, go ahead, Jeff.
No, just, yeah, like you said, I mean, give us something, give us a cockpit, show us where he was sitting, and that's why it blocked all the rays, and why he didn't die and everyone else died. Any of that information would have been great.
Right. Or even like when the one place blows up. I was trying to think if I didn't read the book and I just saw the movie, I feel like I wouldn't have got a lot of things. Like they use too much astrophage, that building blows up, they lose the scientist. They kind of quickly explained that. It was like, and then suddenly you're getting sent to space. It was like, I feel like if you didn't read the book, you'd miss a lot of those things. So like, all right, there was probably some area. Again, we could have a 6-hour movie if we wanted. Michelle?
I was just going to say, I went with somebody who didn't read the book, and that scene where they kind of rushed through the explosion, I looked over, I'm like, did that make sense? Like after the movie, I'm like, did you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Cause I'm like that, they flew through that. I'm like, did you catch all that? And like why it all happened? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Good enough. JK.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm kind of glad they didn't dwell on the very sexual relationship between these two scientists. Seeing them cuddling during the karaoke scene was just enough. I'm someone on the spectrum. I don't need people to tell other people that they're having sex. Like, it was so unnecessary in the book, and I'm like, we don't need that. And I thought the movie was just fine. They just like, oh, they gave them the wrong grammage. Oh, how could that happen? Blah, 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 human error, blah, blah, blah. Stratt getting up straight away, being on the phone, like everything was just, I think that was sufficient. I didn't need more explanation.
Okay. Perfect. All right. We're going to talk about, real quick, we talked to Jeff about the song. So you heard the song at the top. It's called Out There, Not After the Astrophage. I know you guys are disappointed. So I wrote it with Jeff. Me and Jeff are longtime friends. Jeff, he said he hadn't read a book in years, many years. I give him Project Hail Mary. I told him to buy it. He reads it. He's like, dude, this is amazing. I'm like, okay, you're writing the song with me. He's read 5 since. He's definitely one of us now. So I expect to see him here every month. And So we've worked on a bunch of songs together. We wrote the end credits for Lego Batman, Lego Ninjago. And ironically, the producers of those movies that we worked on were Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who were the producers of Project Hail Mary. I actually reached out to both those dudes like a year ago going like, hey, do you guys need any songs? And they ghosted me. Anyway, Jeff, where did this song come from? I know the answers to these questions because we worked on it together, but
yeah,
tell us just real quick, where did the song come from? What were you thinking about when you were working on it?
Sure. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank Chris because, yes, like he said, he threw a little slander on my name. 10 years was a bit strong. I think it was closer to maybe 5, but let's say 10, just to give him a little more credit. But no, he reintroduced reading back into my life, and I'm very thankful for that. It had been a while since I had read for entertainment, and Project Hail Mary, one of our favorite books growing up, was Ender's Game for both of us. And I was looking, he said, dude, if you love Ender's Game, it's sci-fi. This is, has a really great connection in it. Ironically, a lot of the songs that we have written that have gotten onto Lego Batman, Lego Ninjago are about friendship. He's like, look, this is right up our alley here. It's a lot of great friendship in it. And so, yeah, I read it and just really, really enjoyed it. I read it over Christmas break, so I had a little bit of time and was able to sit down and read more than 100 pages, 200 pages. And of course, really book. And when he told me he was going to be doing book clubs and bangers, I was like, let's go. And for me, it was more so, I think what we talked about in the very beginning of this book club is kind of where we started. He was like, I had read it a little fresher than he had. And he was like, what's your main takeaway from the book, or what's your main emotion? And I just kept coming back to that one moment where he realized that Rocky was out there and he had to make that decision. Am I going to go back and save this person that I've developed this huge connection with? Or am I going to go home and see how that story plays out? And that the whole thought of just I know you're out there. We kind of started with that thought first. I had the title almost before we even started. After the Astrophage was a title we threw out there, and it's a great title, but we quickly turned onto
didn't sing as well, right? It didn't sing in the melody quite as well.
Yeah, exactly. Astrophage is tough. We look, I worked it in there, but it's a tough word to work into a song. So yeah, no, it was great. And I really enjoyed the process. Again, I loved the connection in the book. I loved the movie, and it being able to see the movie, because we wrote this over the past week and a half ish, and I was actually able to see the movie before we had finished. So it was really good to be able to have all those kind of emotions, and I'm a visual learner and a visual person, so being able to see it up on the big screen was very beneficial to take it back to the song and finish it out with all those fresh emotions. It was great.
I mean, listen, I think we should try to get this one into the. We'll just create our own cut of the movie and put this in the end credits, I guess, because they got all those old songs in there. They need something fresh, right?
Dude, we were like 3 months too late, man. We were so this one could have had a chance.
I love it. I love it. If anybody does have a question for Jeff or me, now's your shot, or we can.
I got a question. Maybe can you talk about the writing process between the two of you? Who came up with what parts, and did you notate, or did you bookmark certain things that you felt had to be in the song versus maybe things that were, if it fit, it fit. If not, scrap it.
We'll give you the high level answer. That real quick. I think Astrophage, we agreed, had to be in the song.
Yes.
Made up word, and nobody's ever said it in a song, so we got to work it in. I'll start, but I think we talked about the idea high level, what it should kind of sound like. I initially was thinking it was sort of an up-tempo thing, and then I'm like, Jeff was not buying it. So I'm like, no, we'll go slower. I kind of built a track, kicked it over to Jeff, who he was singing melodies. I don't have a good answer, Brian. Jeff, speak to that.
Yeah, our process is pretty much the same usually. I mean, this depends on what we're writing for. This one, again, it was super easy just because of what a great connection we both had to the book and to the movie. So I kind of started singing some melodies and some ideas and some titles and stuff over voice notes to him. Again, he came back to me and said, I think this is too slow. I kept feeling that real emotional, angsty, kind of vibe. And he was really more so onto the friendship vibe. And he was like, look, we've written so many songs that are about friendship and about that connection. Let's go down that path again. And I was, we kind of started feeling out both directions, and this one just kind of ended up taking over and winning. And And that's so our process normally is one of us will come up with a concept or a vibe. We'll, reference some other songs that we kind of think are in the same area. And then either I'll, again, sing him some melodies, or he'll come back to me with a fresh track that's in that genre. And then I'll take the track and I'll start freestyling lyrics and nonsense over top of it. And I'll send him some rough sketches of, hey, here's what I'm thinking. And he sends me notes back, which are always positive. Always positive. Unless it sucks, in which case it's all negative. No, but that's it. And then we just kind of go back and forth until the song's done, and we're both in a good place with it. This was great because we had a deadline. Chris and I can sometimes push a project down the road a week or two, so it was good that we had a deadline on this because we started, like I said, about 2 weeks ago. We started talking about it about a month and a half ago.
I started talking about it months ago, actually.
Yeah,
it's been a little bit of a slow burn, and I think that's been part of the good process. And then it was like, we got to make sure we hit certain points, like astrophage. Then when you're working on the rap part, you're like, I got to put a Rocky part in there, right? You got
yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's a part where it says amaze, overjoyed, and the amaze. I did this big kind of stack of a whole bunch of harmonies, and it kind of sounds like Rocky sounds. It's some kind of musical notes to go if you listen deep in there. So yeah, we were trying to throw little words, little concepts everywhere we could, honestly.
Yeah. And there you go. And now we're starting to make videos for it and stuff so if you see it, just pretend you like it, share it, do all that stuff. And who knows, maybe Ryan Gosling, maybe we can reconnect with Gosling and I can be like, dude, remember that time you were in front of me at the Griddle Cafe?
Dude, we'll go have brunch. We'll talk about the song. We were a little too late, but we'll vibe. It'll be good.
We're good. All right. So I think we had a great discussion here. For me, it was Grace doesn't become brave until he has somebody to be brave for. That's what stuck. That's really what stuck with me the most. I got a couple of housekeeping things, but Mama Hush has something to say, apparently. Go ahead, Mama Hush. Hello, Mama Hush.
Okay, I got it. I want to thank my son, Oh Hush, for getting me into these sci-fi books, which I really did not like, and get me into reading books that I never would have chosen for myself. And so I want to thank him publicly for doing this. Oh. Thanks, Chris.
Wow, that was big. All right. So I did something here. I want to show you guys something really quick. And this is just an idea, and it might be stupid. And if it's here we go, real quick. Would anybody be interested in a Space Camp t-shirt? We're doing one more month. Is this any of these cool? Is there anything going on here? Any quick thoughts of which one is the good one? Should I make some shirts for us or not? Esperanza.
Oh, hi.
How are you? Go ahead.
Fine, and you?
I'm good. Fire away.
Hey, wow, they're awesome. I think I prefer the black one that's on the left.
I guess which left is
yeah, that's a good question, right?
So the one
that has no frame.
No frame. It's got a less of a frame. I got you. Okay. So you like the?
Yeah, I like that too.
That's my left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just chime in real quick with votes. Any you, Sam, or yeah?
I agree.
Yep, the one on the left, I agree. The one that has a dome or a circle and less of a frame. I think it's more fun.
Is the mustache on the bottom too much?
No, keep it. It's like that millennial. It's like that millennial tattoo thing happening.
Oh my god! Yes, yeah. 2008. Yeah. Oh my god.
I'd put it on the top. I'd put it on the top, frankly.
You'd put it on the top. You can put it on the top if you want.
I in one version of this, it was actually the plume of smoke from the spaceship. It was in a shape of a mustache. Anyway, is it cool? Yeah. So anyway, if you guys are into them, I like
the tag. The tag's really cool. The glass is sticking out. There you go.
Dude, you can put check marks on.
That's why the mustache needs to go up there, so it kind of.
I like the one in the middle because it's a little more colorful.
Okay. Color. Okay. Anyway, okay. That's good enough. I just want to get some thoughts. We might do it here. We got one more month of Space Camp. So real quick. Okay. So next month's book. Detour by Jeff Rake and Rob Hart. So Jeff Rake created the TV show Manifest. I don't know if you guys, I loved it. It was amazing. This book's great. It's book one of what's going to be, I think, a 2-book series, but it's like kind of Dark Matter meets Project Hail Mary-ish. And so I think it's right. So that's next month. They're coming to book club. I don't have the date. I've just locked in. Alex Harrow is coming to book club in May. We're talking about the Everlasting. I just emailed them today, and they're like, yeah, she'll join. I'm like, amazing. This is like my favorite book I've read all year. So she's coming. In July, Isabel J. Kim is going to come to book club. She's a debut author. This book, though, is getting heat. Like, they've already optioned it. There's some serious marketing dollars already going into this thing. It's awesome. Super stoked about it. But the question I have for everybody real quick, any thoughts for June's book? I have some ideas, but you guys, what do you like? Give me some ideas on maybe what you guys might want to read, and I'll try to see if I can make something happen. Just chime in.
The Stephen King book, the one that is like really thick. It has the numbers, the 11,
11, 22, 63. That's his.
Yeah, that one.
That's the one Chris has been avoiding, and it's a great book.
I appreciate it, but I think Chris needs 6 months for the size of that book, and so do I.
I'm looking out for you guys on this one.
That one. Yeah.
Best books of all time. That book's incredible.
I really like that one.
The good news about that one is if everybody's already read it and it's just me, then like we could do it. The problem is like who?
I've never read it.
I know, but I'm worried about asking people to read a 900-page book, including myself. I can do it. I love that.
Am I being paid for this? Okay. Is someone paying like a GoFundMe? Because there's also, is someone going to read it to me? I can't give my address. It's way too many pages. No way.
Okay, but I love that. That's a good suggestion. Give me a couple others. Anybody else? I know you.
I have a book I just read that I really liked, but I don't know. I don't want to sound too like typical thrillerish, but I just read a book by David Ellis called Look Closer. I don't know. It just kept me whiplashing with like all the twists and turns. And I was like, I don't know if I just like thrillers or is this a good thriller? And I don't know. Sometimes I don't know, that's off the top of my head. It was just like very, very twisty, very like morally gray. I don't know, had some very morally wrong too, but I just read it and I liked it. So
Look Closer, David Ellis. Who else?
Can I suggest one of my books? Or
yes, you should. You absolutely should. What the heck?
I've been waiting for you to recommend one of yours, Mary.
Me too. It's shameless self-promotion, but hey, I'll be willing to come to the meeting and talk to everybody.
We're winning.
You need to talk to my publicist,
Wow. We could lock it in. Which one of your books, if we did one of your books, which one would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one.
I know. Yeah.
Well, Poison Study, of course, is the first book. It's the OG romantasy.
Right. And it's amazing.
Some of my later books are pretty strong. Like The Study of Poisons is a companion novel, which is, I really like that one too. But if you want SF, sci-fi, that Navigating the Stars, I know I sent it to you. I don't know if you read it yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't read it yet, but it's I'm going to read it with, I think I'm going to try to read it with my almost 10-year-old and skip any of the parts that she doesn't need to hear about. I was thinking if for either Poison Study or, Inside Out is great too. Maybe I should read Navigating the Stars and see. I'm like one of the hugest Poison Study fans in the world. We could get her to come to book club. That would be a win. Okay. So Maria's a strong possibility. We're going to read one of Maria's books one of these days for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
No, we need to. Any other suggestions for, and if you're an author, you absolutely should share your own book. No other suggestions?
How about Go ahead. Go.
I was going to say Upgrade by Blake Crouch. It's speculative fiction. Gene editing has been banned, but this guy gets infected with basically a virus that edits his DNA for him to become better. And there's kind of a plot to make DNA people better by altering their DNA. It's really good.
Yeah, I've read it and I love it. I think I want to do a Blake Crouch book at one point. I always think like our Dark Matter and Recursion, the better books to do, are more like Upgrade's great too. I put them like Pines. Pines is great too. It's a trilogy, but I don't know. All of his stuff
was crazy.
All of it's so good. Does anybody have the other two that I had thoughts on? And just I don't know if anybody's into either of these. I'm trying to also like. We've done some sci-fi. We're going to do a little fantasy with The Everlasting. Is Six of Crows? I know it's a popular book. Night Circus. I just read this and loved it. Are either of those books that people would want?
Those are both on my TBR.
Me too. They're both on my physical TBR.
Okay.
I physically own those.
They're like those popular books from a little bit ago, but. A lot of people haven't read them, including me. I'm just getting to Six of Crows now. So I was like, well,
I haven't read them at all yet.
I have a
Blake Crouch idea.
Recommending Addie LaRue.
Yeah,
Addie LaRue would be good.
That's another one.
I've got a Blake Crouch idea.
Yeah, go.
Blake Crouch has a short story, the name of which I cannot remember.
Summer Frost.
Nope, that's not it.
So the one about AI?
Yeah.
I thought it was Summer Frost.
I don't think so. But if it is that one, why don't we do that one and have a short story 1 month, so the next month we can do 11, 22, 63.
I love it. I'll consider. We could do so. We basically have like 980 pages total. So it's really just like 2 medium-sized books. Yeah, JK, what do you think?
So I know it's kind of different. Oh, Dungeon Crawler card would be a sick idea. I already have it. So that's a sick idea. Thank Jeff. There's a book I really want to read this year that's called Yesteryear, and it's about a quote unquote like trad wife in the 21st century who wakes up and is actually sent to the time and place where she imagines, I guess, like where like women used to be, the way she was acting. I'm not explaining it well. Can someone help me?
Yeah, right. No, and that's that. I have that on my list actually. Of a possible book. I just got it. I think it's kind of like somebody just mentioned Kindred. I think it's kind of like Kindred, where we're not actually sure if she gets sent back or it's like they've created a reality show around her, and it's unclear. Is she actually living in the trad wife times of the 7? I don't know what year it is, or is it modern reality show that she's stuck in and it's real?
There's so many ways, but I think it could bring so many interesting conversations too, and it could be different. I love sci-fi. I really do but just to do maybe something just slightly different, but it's still like speculative fiction. Like it's still going to be a what if kind of thing. And I think we could definitely, I don't know. It's super high on my list. I'm waiting for it to come out in April. We could read that this summer. Yeah. I don't know. Just putting it out.
No, those are all great. Okay. So I'll let me process some of these down. And I think these are all great suggestions. I need to read 11, 22, 63, obviously. Anyway, I think we're good. We're going to wrap it. Thank you guys so much for coming. What a great discussion. Great. You guys are amazing. I always come away from these things learning so much more about the books and having better, stronger opinions. So, thank you guys for all being here. As always, you're the best. T-shirts, stay tuned. I think maybe we'll pick that one that everybody liked on the left and we'll do it. And if you want it, great. If you don't, fine too. What else? Any other last minute questions, housekeeping, anything else? Or
I have a request.
Can we hear the song again as you're closing out the Zoom meeting?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. You should do that. Some months I miss it because I missed the first few minutes. And it was a good song.
Okay, great. We can do that for sure. Esperanza, did you have something to say?
Yes, I have a request. Do you think you could send us in an email the upcoming books, please?
Yes. So so that's what I'll do. I usually just talk about next month's book, but I'll give you guys on the bottom, like, here's the ones that I know.
Yes, please.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know, but I will. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Thank you.
Vicky, did you have something or no?
No, I mentioned Kindred in the thing, but only as, like a different thing. But otherwise, no. I was actually going to ask which books were which, but if you take care of her request for the email, I'm good.
Yep, I'll send that out. I'll send out an email probably in the next couple of days to talk about this month, and then I'll mention the future books. Cool. So I'll spin the song one more time, and then we'll call it. Is that cool? That's cool, right?
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Let me try to find where's the song? I can't find it.
Thank you.
Got a curveball thrown at me here. Here we go.
With jazz hands.
Jazz. Way to go. Okay. How do I share? Go.
Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woke up to metal and glass, my name erased from the past. Static can start out for miles, no path, just wandering lights. So far away from our home, Hail Mary ain't the same if you're out alone. No, this dying sun that astrophanes made us shine so bright, we light up the sky. I sent a signal into black. Is anybody coming back? I know you're out there in the dark between the sun. I'm coming back for you. I know you're out there, hear my voice and just hold on. I'm coming back for you. I'm coming back. I know you're out there. I know you're out there. I know you're out there. Hey. Then came your voice unafraid. Numbers and words all conveyed. No, I don't look like your kind, so let's draw a map of your mind. We found a spark in the void, a maze overjoyed. All of these answers we found, let's send them home now. Feels like we're running out of time, but if we walk across that line, I know you're out there in the dark between the sun. I'm coming back for you. I know you're out there, hear my voice and just hold on. I'm coming back for you. I'm coming back. I know you're out there. Yeah, I know you're out there. Yeah, I know you're out there. I know you're out there now. You gave me the numbers, the codes, when to burn. They told me it's one way, no, there's no return. And when I was low, you were pulling me through. And now I'm trading all my tomorrows for you. Let's go, boy. I know you're out there in the dark between the sun. I'm coming back for you. Now, baby, I know you're out there, hear my voice and just hold on. I'm coming back for you. I'm coming back. I know you're out there. Yeah, I know you're out there. Yeah, I know you're out there. I know you're out there now.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you guys. You're amazing. The song should be up on Spotify in a day, maybe tomorrow, and use it in your reels and your stories and your posts, whatever you're talking about it. All right. I got to go make dinner for the kids. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Bye.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye, guys.